Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I am unboxing packages from you and packages from all the way over in Australia. Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to unbox some viewer mail from you guys, which was off of my Amazon wish list. I've had an Amazon wish list for a while. It's mostly for just me to track which movies I need to get. Like, I know I need to get Child's Play 1 through 3 on 4K to complete my Chucky collection. So it goes on my wish list. But I made it public because people were asking to send viewer mail. And personally, I don't want to give out my home address. And I don't really want to open a P.O. box because I've talked about curating a collection and I want to be very selective with what I bring into the house so that it doesn't get overwhelming. I'd have boxes full of things that maybe I didn't actually want, which honestly was just going to trigger my anxiety and be too much for me. It would get overwhelming, almost like hoarding. So I did the Amazon wish list and then I sent it out to you guys because people asked, and a few people actually sent some packages through Amazon. So we're going to open all of those. And I've got 3 absolutely incredible box sets from Australia and Umbrella Entertainment that I want to show you at the end of the video. But first, let's start with the viewer mail. So the first movie I got, unfortunately, Amazon didn't put the thank you note in the package, only the packing slip. So I don't know who sent this, but I'm starting with it first because hopefully you'll comment and let me know. But it was Bye Bye Birdie, which is an incredible musical that had been on my list for a very long time, was definitely a gap in my collection, is a gap in my movie viewing history. I want to see this movie. It's got Janet Leigh, Anne Margaret, Dick Van Dyke. It's one of those 50s, 60s musicals. I don't know if it's Technicolor, but it sure feels that way. And I know it's another movie that my wife and I would both watch and enjoy, which is sometimes how these things make the wish list. Is something like this. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I'd really like to get it in full HD quality on Blu-ray. And so thank you, whoever sent this. Please let me know who you are because Amazon dropped the ball on that one. Next up is another musical that was on my list and another gap in my collection, and one that I couldn't believe my wife hadn't seen given she's a big fan of musicals. And that was Newsies, the 20th anniversary Blu-ray from Disney, which is actually, it's almost coming up. Actually, it passed 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary would have been 2022. So this is an old Blu-ray, but this was from Falah Al-Halawani. I hope I got your name correctly. Tried my best, but thank you, Falah. And we already watched this one. In fact, my wife and I sat down and watched it. Christian Bale is incredible in this. He's very young. He's like 18 when this was filmed. It's from 1992, but it's got great musical numbers. It's got Robert Duvall. It's got Bill Pullman. It's a great cast, a great story, actually based on a true story and super relevant right now, given all of the strikes that are happening in Hollywood. This movie is about strikes and scabs and unions and better working conditions. And it also has just great musical moments. Although I do think this is a good candidate for 4K because the Blu-ray was average at best. It's 10, 13, 11 years old since that came out. So I think that's a good candidate for Disney that they should look at. Next up was a piece of childhood nostalgia for me. This movie came out in 2002. I was 10 years old. It was a big effing deal at the time because I loved the show. I own the entire show on DVD, but I didn't have the movie. And it's Hey Arnold, the movie from Nickelodeon. When I was 10, everybody was talking about this movie. Hey Arnold was massive. It was a huge hit for Nickelodeon. I love it. I still think it's a great show. I can't wait to watch it again and revisit it. Go back to the 90s. The 90s kid in me is very excited. And maybe someday watch it with my kids as well. But that was from Michael F. He said, thanks for the great content. So thank you, Michael. The next one here was a 4K upgrade and a title that everybody had been telling me I had to upgrade for a long time, and that's Ford versus Ferrari. So thank you to Cole Crummy who sent this out to me, or Crummy. Don't want to say your name wrong, but again, I'm just reading off the paper. But thank you, Cole. This is a big time 4K upgrade for me. I had the Blu-ray, but people told me the audio and the visual on this is outstanding. So when I finally get a chance to rewatch it now on 4K, I'll probably do a review and let you guys know what I think as well, because I've heard it's one of those underrated great 4K discs that don't get talked about in the same vein as like 2001 or Blade Runner or Gemini Man or some of these like great technical achievements. And Ford vs. Ferrari is supposedly one of those. So I'll check it out on 4K. I'll let you guys know. But thank you so much, Cole, for sending. The next one was a pretty special one because one of the editors for the film actually sent this to me. And this is 5/25/77, which I have not seen, but I've heard as a Star Wars fan is a must-see movie. I know it took them a very long time to get this made and released. It was an indie project. But Alex Krager, who worked as an editor on this, is a fan of the channel. He edited a big portion of the movie, and he couldn't believe I didn't have it, so he sent it to me, and it has this gorgeous slipcover, still all shrink wrapped. They did a really nice job, and I'm very, very excited to own that in my collection. And the Star Wars fan in me is definitely excited to check out this like coming of age story. It takes place during the spring that the original Star Wars released. It sounds like a really cool, coming of age, like time period piece. Next one was from Prime Zcon on Whatnot. He was watching some videos on Whatnot, and he was watching my videos on YouTube here, and he noticed I was trying to build my Vestron video collection. So he reached out to me, sent me a message, and said he had one, and he sent over the Lair of the White Worm, which is number 6 in the collection. So a very early one. I want to collect all of these with the slipcovers, so getting an early one is important because they probably ran out of slips earlier than others. So this was super cool. All he had me do was just pay for shipping, which was awesome. I would have bought it off of him, but he said, hey, just pay for the shipping. I'll get it out to you. He sent it in a couple days, and the slipcover is in immaculate shape. So a great addition to my collection. Ken Russell. Now, if only they could get Ken Russell's The Devils out, I'd be much happier. But the Lair of the White Worm, great one in my Vestron. Now I'm down to like 7 or 8 more that I need. And finally, last viewer package was from William Roush or William Roche, wherever I don't want to get your name wrong. I'm going to try my best, but he sent me 3 different movies. First one, Adam Sandler, The Cobbler. I think this might have been a Netflix movie. Or at least it trended on Netflix for a little bit, but I heard great things, and I love Adam Sandler. So I want to complete my Adam Sandler collection, had this as a gap in my collection, and he sent it over. Hopefully one day I'll meet the Sandman, because he actually grew up about 10 minutes from where I live in Manchester, New Hampshire. He's actually back here all of the time. He always makes the papers and everything when he's back in town. But I'm actually hoping to run into him someday, because he literally grew up in my neighborhood. The other one that William sent was Wyatt Her, which is another gap in my collection. I've never seen it. I am actually slowly getting into Westerns. My conversations with Daisuke Beppu actually on his channel made me think more about Westerns. But Wyatt Earp, Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, an incredible cast. Lawrence Kasdan film, who wrote Empire Strikes Back. I might have that wrong, or directed it. But, a great cast, a great crew, and just one that I've totally missed. So Wyatt Earp, now in my collection. And finally, the big one from William, which was awesome, was this 3-movie Planet of the Apes trilogy set on 4K. Now, I know there's a new one coming, but I don't know if it ties into these 3 or not. Either way, I could buy it on 4K, but I didn't have these. I had the Blu-rays. I've seen the first 2. I have not seen War yet, but I've heard they're really impressive 4K discs. And this whole set was like $16, which is why it was on my wish list, because it was a steal that I was going to go get at some point. But William, thank you so much for grabbing it for me and sending it out. Much appreciated. And I can't wait to dive into these and rewatch them and watch War for the first time on 4K. So that's the viewer mail. Thank you so much for everybody who sent something. If you want to check out the Amazon wish list that I have, the link will be in the description. You can check it out there. It's also in my social media profiles and things like that. But now we're going to talk Umbrella Entertainment. All the way from Australia, I've got 3 limited edition box sets of incredible horror/cult movies. And the first one is The Tunnel. This is an awesome set. It's a rigid, hard case, much like Second Sight, and they are competing in terms of quality with Second Sight at this point, because the packaging is awesome. This is a found footage movie from 2011, which not a lot of people know about, but it's got an incredible booklet full of essays and behind the scenes photos. We've got art cards. We have an awesome slipcover with even more great artwork on it. So, they really go above and beyond. And this one is going to be pretty rare. Now, this was limited to only 200 copies, and I have copy 182. So I don't know if I just snuck in. I got a lot of these at the last minute because pretty high numbers on some of them. But The Tunnel, limited edition out of 200. If you can get this, I recommend it. I assume there'll be a standard edition at some point from Umbrella. It's all region free from Australia. They have great releases, but The Tunnel is a super underrated found footage horror film. So if you like that sort of stuff, nobody's ever heard of this, but it's so good. Now, the next one is Kids, which Not a horror film, I guess more of a cult film. It often shows up on disturbing films lists because it does really deal with some disturbing themes. It's all teenagers. It's basically a coming of age story, but it's gritty and very realistic. And also, like I said, disturbing. And there's some stuff in here. Like, I hope not everybody's coming of age was like kids, because man, that'd be an effed up world. But Larry Clark directed, Harmony Korine wrote it. This has awesome artwork here, Larry Clark on the back. And then opening it up, this one's super cool. It was limited at a 500. I have number 336. Great artwork again, even on the slipcover. So you got great art on the case, great art in the slip. You got an awesome booklet here with essays and photos. And then the really cool thing is that you get a 35, or sorry, not a 35 millimeter, is it? I'm actually not sure if it's 30. Yeah, it is 35. So a 35 millimeter film cell in a little case. So this little plastic case here, umbrella, kids, see if you can see that a little closer up. But you get a film cell, which is super cool. And again, only out of 500. So if you can get your hands on it, I'd run now because they're probably running out. And last but not least, we got this monster Razerback set, which is limited out of 700. I believe I had number 685. So very close again, but incredible artwork, hard, rigid case, awesome all the way around, gonna look great on a shelf. And this is a really fun creature feature. So if you like Jaws, Grizzly, Piranha, Tentacles, Cocaine Bear, that type of thing, like Razorback is in that world. It's a little more bizarre. It's a little more like B-movie-ish. But this one's really cool because it comes with the entire novel, Razorback. So you can literally read the book. It's all here. And then at the back, they've got some art and some essays. So all that good stuff. You also got these awesome lobby cards. And then even though that artwork on the front was so great, check this artwork out. I mean, incredible. It looks like a Vinegar Syndrome title almost. Like, they're doing great work. And this one's a 4K and Blu-ray. So again, region free. You can get these if you can get them. I had number 685 out of 700. So I don't know if any are going to be left by the time you see this video, but at least wanted to show you guys what great work Umbrella Entertainment's doing, because they deserve a lot of praise. They're putting out incredible limited editions, great 4K releases. They're doing one for Possession. And yeah, there's other companies that are also doing stuff like this, and Possession's going to get, released by some other companies. But I just like what Umbrella's doing. And I think their work is really high quality, and they're going to have stuff in that horror cult sort of genre that I don't think other people will have, even though, there will be some overlap. The cool thing is you get to pick and choose. It's never bad to have options. We've never had options for some of these movies before. And now all of a sudden we're talking about which version of Possession we want to own, which is like incredible that it's even on 4K. Like, oh, which version of Razorback should I get? Like, can you imagine like even thinking this a few years back? Like, the boutique Blu-ray market has come so far. It is incredibly cool and a great time to be a collector. So if you want to check those out, I actually have a little discount code for Umbrella Entertainment. It's actually not an affiliate code. I don't get anything for it. But if you want to look at these titles or any others from their site, you can get 15% off, and that code is down in my video description. So check that out if you want to go shop Umbrella. And huge thank you to everybody who sent me something from the wish list. You filled some gaps in my collection. You upgraded a couple titles to 4K. I never expect anything, never ask for anything, but people asked me, so I put it out there, and I am more than grateful that you guys even paid attention. But I think it's a really cool way to get closer to you guys in the community too, and do some more like viewer mail unboxings like this, talk about movies that I've never had the chance to talk about before. And thank you guys, in person, one-on-one here in a video. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you want more physical media content, everything movies. I'm going to be talking so much more on this channel coming up. Also, make sure you like this so we spread the word about physical media. Follow me on social media. Those links are in the description and in the QR code right here. If you're on a TV, pop out your phone, scan that code. You'll get all access to my links there as well. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll talk to you all soon.